Today we're going to talk about the Vostok Amphibia SE020B38 on a mesh bracelet. Like I've seen in lots of YouTube videos, my watch came with this cardboard box. Most of the watches I've seen, people receive them in very cheap plastic boxes. This is a black cardboard box, and as you see, the watch is not rolled in it. It lays flat. So in the box you get the watch. Obviously I've peeled the stickers off mine, but it comes wrapped in plastic. And also you'll receive an instruction and a 1-year warranty. There's one in Russian and there's one in English as well. So you can see a short manual how to operate the watch. So when we open the box and take out the watch, we'll see that this is what we get. So the watch is a 41mm case. The thickness of the watch is 15mm and the crystal is acrylic, and it's domed acrylic. So one bad point about the case is that the edges of the case all along are very, very sharp. All the edges here, the lug, the end of the lugs as well, all those points are very sharp. They don't tear your skin sharp, but they're very unpleasant to touch with your finger. The crown on the watch is a signed crown with the Vostok factory logo in Russian. The website claims that the crown is stainless steel, but when you feel it in your hand and take a peek inside, you will see that it's chrome-plated brass, and the crown feels very, very light and cheap, which is one of the worst parts about this watch. But it's a screw-down crown and it has a rubber seal inside it, giving the watch 200 meters of water resistance. The bezel on the watch is bi-directional. It's a non-click bezel, which is also very, very strange since it's a diver watch. I've never encountered a diver watch which doesn't have the clicking unidirectional bezel. So in this case, it's pretty stiff. It's not gonna turn by itself, but if you knock it on something, it will probably turn in both directions. So take that into consideration. The bezel itself is stainless with an aluminum insert and the lume dot at 12 o'clock. The lume dot is not protected by anything, so it's just exposed like this. So maybe if you use it roughly, it can fall out easily, I think. So the lume on the watch, other than the bezel, is on the hands and on the lollipop style seconds hand, and also on the small circles on the hour marks. And as you can see, each hour mark is surrounded by this chromed circle. So it's not just applied lume, it's lume that is applied into a small chrome piece. Here you can see a lume shot of the watch with all the hour indicators, the hands, and the lume dot on the bezel. The lume is pretty bright at first, but it dies down pretty quick. On the dial you will see that the hour markers are not applied. They are raised from the dial and chrome plated, but they are not applied. They're part of the dial. You see at 12 o'clock the Vostok name in Russian, and under that it says anti-magnetic, which we'll come to a bit later. Down above the 6 o'clock it says that it has 31 stones, 31 jewels basically. It is automatic, and the 200 meters below that. And at the bottom of the dial It says made in Russia. I chose the model with the mesh bracelet. This watch also comes on a fabric strap and on a link bracelet, but the Vostok bracelets are very, very bad quality, so that's why I went with the mesh, which feels pretty solid, to be honest. It's not that bad. It doesn't pull hairs. It's easily removable, and on it you will see that it says stainless steel, and on the closure it has also the Vostok logo. Let me show you how it's closed. It's adjustable by moving this part, and when you want to close it, just snap this part over here. Then you close this thing, and then there's a second security piece that you snap over it, and that's how it looks when it's closed. On the bottom of the case you will see the Russian cosmonaut, and it says special series and made in Chistopol, which is the city in Russia where the factory is located. As you might remember, the dial says the watch is anti-magnetic, so obviously I wanted to put that to the test. I'll open the case back and we'll see if there's a metal shield guarding the movement from magnetic forces. It's kind of difficult to do over the camera here, but you see that the case back is not screwing, only the ring around it screws out. This is the ring that screws out, and inside it we remove the case back, and we can see that there is indeed a metallic shield protecting the movement from magnetic forces. I'm not sure how strong the protection is, like a Rolex Milgauss or something, but the protection is still here as advertised. I'm not going to expose it to any magnets to test it, but let's believe the factory that it is true. Inside you can see the movement itself. You'll see the caliber number on it, and you see that it's an automatic movement with bi-directional winding. You see the watches winds in both directions. So there is this sealing gasket over here, and the movement ring is plastic. So to sum things up, the plus sides of the watch is its price. It's pretty cheap at $126 with free international shipping. It's 200-meter depth rated, and it has a 10-year service interval, so it should be pretty bulletproof. Just like this old Vostok watch that I have, which used to belong to my grandfather, and he gave it to me. This watch was purchased in '85, and today is 2019, and the watch is still working in perfect condition. It looks kind of beat up because, as you see, the bezel on it and the case as well is chrome-plated brass, unlike the new one, which is stainless. So that's why you see the peeling, and that's what can happen to the crown of this watch as well, because it's not stainless. But other than that, the watch should be pretty bulletproof. And the downsides of the watch is obviously, as I said, the crown is not stainless. The case is pretty sharp all around, and the bezel is not unidirectional and not clicking.